Dean, and this is the Plug Your Holes YouTube channel. And this week, we're going to talk about the 10 things to be stoked about this year's Warped Tour. 2015, bros. Let's do it. Starts right now. So before we get started, if you happen to use Instagram or Twitter, Plug Your Holes, boom, right there. Twitter, Instagram, go check us out. Also, if for some reason you want to follow me, a good example of why you might is that next week our episode is going to be shot from Bangkok, Thailand. So my Instagram and Twitters are right there. Follow me for a good time. Also, Brian Radman, the guy who is editing these videos, his Instagram and Twitter are right here, so check it out. Anyway, so now to the list. Are you ready? The first on my list might seem like, I don't know, an easy out or something, but realistically, the bands are the best thing about Warped Tour, but probably not in the way you're thinking. The big bands, the bands that we're all really pumped to see, whether it's Asking Alexandria or We Came as Romans or whatever else that you're really interested in, that's cool and that's why I can get you in the door, but the best thing about Warped Tour is the bands that you haven't seen before. And you're getting so many opportunities to see new bands every single day. Well, every single day for us. But the day that you come, you would have 80-something bands that you have an opportunity to see. So one of the best examples that I can think of is Let Live or Beartooth, so I guess two examples. And how I didn't really know a lot about either of those bands before the summer that we did Warped Tour with them, but both of them impressed me immensely. The heat. I mean, the heat almost is a defining characteristic of everything that makes up Warped Tour. And some of us get different temperatures based on our location of our Warped Tour, but it's almost like a badge of honor. It's like I sat through the shittiest day ever and the heat and the exhaustion, and I still stayed to the end and I watched my favorite band or whatever band it was that you wanted to see or whatever kept you there, or maybe it wasn't even your favorite band, maybe it was just a band you knew you had to see. And that's awesome to me. It makes it memorable. You remember that feeling and that heat and that sweat and that grime. And that is one of the most amazing things about Warped Tour. The next thing that I'm stoked about is the rain. I mean, it's like God's tears raining down on us. Anyway, the great thing about the rain is that it cools us down when it's hot. And if you know anything about Warped Tour, every day is hot, so the rain's good. And if you're one of the unfortunate people who lives in a non-rainy place like Arizona, I apologize, and good luck in the future. Warped Tour's always really been awesome at making the people and the bands that you like obtainable. And by doing signings and them having to walk around and things like that, that's really cool. And I've always been somebody who's a firm believer that just because you're in a band or you're an actor or whatever it is, or an athlete, you aren't not another person. I mean, we definitely like to put them up on pedestals. But the one thing I will say about Warped Tour, and that really, really encourages me with that, is that we're able to go and meet them and realize exactly how real they are and understand that the people in the bands that we like and love or whatever, our level of dedication into them, we just realize they're just normal dudes and dudettes, you know, and that's awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's probably one of the best things for the music industry is not making idols and superheroes out of the people that we listen to and watch on stage. One thing that has me personally really stoked in this summer's Warped Tour might be a little more serious. There's an organization out there called Support Piercings and Tattoos at Work. STAPAW, and I'm really, really pumped with what they're doing. You know, in the last video I mentioned that there are corporate policies regarding stretching and tattoos and things like that. But the real benefit of having an organization out there is a watchdog to make sure that people are being represented, and that you having stretched ears or tattoos or whatever else you choose to do isn't something that's going to keep you from getting a job. So them coming out of Warped Tour, I think is a great place for them to be, and I strongly encourage you to check them out and support them. And so there's a link right here. There's also another link in the description. So check it out, and I encourage you to become part of whatever they're doing. One of my favorite things is the new records. You get records sometimes a little bit before they're supposed to be out. But in addition to that, you're just getting new records. You save up. You're like, I got money from my job. I'm going to Warped Tour. And you get the new records. And, you know, August Burns Red and We Came as Romans have new records coming out this summer. And you're just like, I got it. And you go home and you're just like pumping it. And you're like, yeah, this was sick. I love it. And that's awesome. I love that. The fact that, like, after spending an entire day listening to new music, you're like, I'm going to go home and listen to new music too. It's great. I love it. Do it. Buy new records. So it seems pretty obvious that new gear. I mean, if you're buying new records, new gear is going to be a good thing too. So you're getting new clothing, new friggin', I don't know, I mean, I remember Less Than Jake selling these like bobblehead things, and that was awesome. Obviously new plugs are a good thing. So that's part of the awesomeness. I mean, you're getting this stuff you can't possibly get in your hometown. I mean, well, okay, I back up. If you live in Kansas City, you can get it in Kansas City. But other than that, a lot of these things are really hard to get. So when you come to Warped Tour, you're like, yeah, I really want to buy this thing that is only available here. And that's awesome. It's like you're coming home with this loot full of stuff. You're like throwing this bag over your back. You're like, yeah, I love it. It's awesome. So one thing that I'm really stoked on, and I think you should be too, is, wait for it, is Riffraff.
I'm in the Costa Rica, piece of Totino. You got a low self-esteem, you can rent my ego.
And the most amazing thing about it is it's freaking Riffraff. Like there's been this like petition to get Riffraff off Warped Tour and all this other bullshit. But why? It's entertaining. It's just good times. Put your punk rock aside and just get over yourself and just embrace what is Riffraff. If you don't think that this is Warped Tour, look in the past. Limp Bizkit, Eminem, Katy Perry have all been Warped Tour, and you're getting pissed about Riffraff? Watch that dude's wrestling promos. They're awesome. So, yeah, go watch Riffraff. I'm going to be watching Riffraff. Just watch Riffraff. One of the coolest things I think about Warped Tour is the fact that you're in one place with a ton of like-minded people. And I mean, that might mean you're looking for a boyfriend or girlfriend. That might mean that you're just looking for some friends to hang out with. It might mean you're looking to start a band, which I encourage all of you to do. But the fact that you aren't surrounded by the same people you're surrounded with, and maybe your world is sort of shrinking, it makes Warped Tour to me an amazing, amazing place. So go out there and meet people. If you see somebody who looks like they like something you like, go talk to them, and you might have a new best friend. The last reason, and maybe the best reason, is plug your holes. We're going to be there, and that's the reason you're watching this video, or part of it, so come check us out. So you're going to be able to see all of our classic greats, me, Waldy, the other thing is you're going to be able to see us request candy from you on all social media. It's going to be great. So come meet all the new people, see all the old people, and hang out with Plug Your Holes, because we're literally a speed train from Lame Town to Kick-Ass City. And come join the ride. So this week's question is, what band are you the most excited to see on this summer's Warped Tour? And if you live outside of the United States, feel free to answer the question anyway. And hopefully they come there sometime soon, but we're hoping to get an idea of what everybody's the most excited about, because that changes dramatically every year. So let us know in the comments below, and we'll definitely talk about it next week. Thank you guys all so much for participating in last week, and as always, be well, and we'll see you on the road sometime. Subscribe, like us, do whatever it takes. And this week's a little different, and maybe next week will be too. First of all, I'm going to be in Thailand for the next video, and I'm going to be in the Philippines for the video after that. So definitely watch those videos, and that's a really good reason to subscribe. But more than anything, let's go wild. Minnesota Wild for the win. Yeah, bring it in, everybody. Bring it in.